Welcome to Galveston Unscripted.
The Bryan Museum, located in the Lost Bayou district, is housed in the former Galveston Orphan's home, one of the most significant private collections of artifacts, documents, and artwork related to Texas and the American West.
Here we are in front of the modern-day Bryan Museum, also known as the Galveston Orphan's Home. This site has served as an orphanage since the 1870s. And as you roam around Galveston, you'll run into homes and buildings that have served as orphanages as far back as the late 1800s. Now you may be asking, why did Galveston have so many orphanages? Galveston has been home to disease outbreaks and epidemics, which being a port city was fairly common, and that created many orphans. Now, one thing that you may or may not have heard of were orphan trains. Between 1854 and 1929, the Orphan Train Program was an organized effort to get children who had lost their parents to disease out of overpopulated areas in the northeastern United States. They would load these young children onto trains and send them west in hopes that they would be adopted in rural areas. Many of these children were adopted, but children who weren't ended up living at the end of the line. And in the late 1800s, Galveston was one of the most south and westward cities for the orphans to end up. Now, the sheer amount of orphans being shipped from the Northeast to Galveston brought on the need for orphanages like St. Mary's Orphanage, the Lasker Home, and the Galveston Orphan's Home. Now, this expansive brick building is the second rendition of the brick Galveston Orphan's Home. The first brick building was destroyed by the 1900 storm,
with newspaper publisher William Randolph Hearst hosting a charity bazaar in New York City that raised $50,000 for its reconstruction. Roughly half of the bricks in the front walkway are from the original 1894 brick structure, discovered on the grounds during the museum restoration process. Along with that brick, toys and objects from the orphanage were found and are now displayed within the museum.
Whenever this museum is open, you are able to walk the grounds and go and explore around here. You can just imagine the children playing around all over the grounds. This building is a registered Texas historical landmark. For all historical photos and maps, thank you to the Galveston and Texas History Center at the Rosenberg Library and the Portal to Texas History at the University of North Texas.